Take it in. Few things in sports are better than a homegrown world champion carrying the pride of his people. As the large entourage comes right through the bowl section here at Pinnacle Bank Arena. A sellout, the home of his beloved Nebraska Cornhuskers. A pound-for-pound elite, and hoping that tonight he will carry the title of undisputed, undefeated. Born and raised just up the road in Omaha, but wanting to bring something special to these Nebraska fans in Lincoln. The local sports scene means so much to Crawford, and you will note that as he makes his way to the ring. Great reception for Crawford. He loves these Nebraska fans, and they love him. Especially that guy, a fitting tribute that he has. Gerald Fultz sitting ringside, wearing that Nebraska number 27 jersey, and now he's going to make his way into the ring. Gerald, the father of the beloved late Cornhusker star Sam Fultz, who tragically died in a car accident last year, as Bud has invited Gerald Fultz to come in and represent the legacy of his late son. So for only the 4th time in modern history of boxing, a fight to be an undisputed champion with 4 belts. For the official introductions, here's Lupe Contreras.
And now, Lincoln, Nebraska, this is the main event of the evening. 2 undefeated world champion, 1 goes home with all the belts, and 1 is gonna take an L tonight. Presenting first, fighting out of the blue corner, promoted in association with Matchroom Boxing, wearing blue with silver trim. He weighed in at an official 139 pounds. This perennial road warrior has yet to taste defeat as a pro, with 22 victories, 12 of those victories coming by way of KO. Defending his WBA and IBF Junior Welterweight Championships. From Windhoek, Namibia, the Blue Machine, Julius Indongo. Across the ring in the red corner, wearing silver with white and blue trim, he weighed in at the 140-pound limit. Started from the bottom now. He enters the ring an undefeated world champion with 31 victories. 22 of those victories coming by way of KO. Universally recognized as pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world. Defending his WBO and WBC Junior Welterweight titles. Born, bred, and ripping Omaha, Nebraska. Terence Crawford.
Right now the belts are good. If they come up, I don't want to let them work in here. I gave you both instructions. I just want to remind you, listen and obey my commands at all time. Protect yourself at all time. Fight hard, fight clean. Good luck to both of you.
Joe Tessitore, Teddy Atlas, and the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Andre Ward, with the call here ringside. Indongo, Crawford, all 4 belts, Junior Welterweight Championship. Let's get after it.
This is the first fight for Indongo in the United States. All but 2 of his fights in Africa. Heck of a way to welcome somebody to the country by giving them the 3rd best fighter in the world, at least in my estimation.
think Indongo's up for the challenge.
Southpaw against the southpaw. Crawford is listed as an orthodox fighter, but when he fights lefties, well, different ways to handle it. Some people get their lead left foot outside the lead right foot of a southpaw from the orthodox position. Not Crawford. Fights fire with fire, very comfortable going southpaw. That's where he is right now.
What'll be apparent early is Indongo, he's straightforward and he's straight backwards. He's consistent. That's who he's going to be the whole fight. Crawford's got more tools in the toolbox. You'll see more lateral movement, switching from right to left. So just look forward to that as this fight continues to progress.
Good-looking counter left hand from Crawford as Indongo lunged in.
One other thing that Crawford is that you missed, he's faster. Quicker hands.
He buzzed Indongo with that straight left, got his attention right away.
So skilled is Bud.
As we said on camera, setting this up, and to your point, Crawford is more dimensional, more versatile. He can do more things. One dimension of Indongo, and it all is about that left hand, the power hand, the backhand for the southpaw.
Crawford, one of the best switch hitters in the game, can do it either way. Comes out, as Teddy said, he's going to meet fire with fire and be in that southpaw stance. But he is equal power no matter which stance he's in.
Indongo to me right now just looks a little tight, a little tighter than he was in his first 2 fights on the road, fighting and defending his belt.
Remember, he won his first world title with a first-round knockout.
Indongo is undefeated, but not undented. He's been on the floor twice in his career.
But Crawford has never been knocked down, of course, as a pro, but nor as an amateur after his successful run, a 2-division world champion.
You know, we talk about all these talents, all these abilities. Who's got the physical strength? Who has the size, the length, the speed, all those things. But one thing that shouldn't be missed that I think favors Crawford, the intellect. He's smarter inside that squared circle.
And Crawford is finding out that Indongo probably needs to be a little smarter lunging in there. Some opportunities existed there in the first round for Crawford. Had that opening left hand. And then an exchange moments ago. End of one here for all 4 titles.
We talked about earlier about Crawford having more dimensions. Well, you see right here some of those dimensions. You can set traps. Take a little step back, get Indongo to reach a little bit, give up his height, and counter with that right hook from the southpaw position.
One of 9 punches he connected with, according to CompuBox, in that first round.
With Indongo, you're worried about the jab, the setup punch, and the power punch, the left hand. But Crawford, more tools in that toolbox. You have to worry about the left hand, the jab, and the right hook. And again, a very dangerous punch for a southpaw. Because it's up close, and it comes from a place where your peripheral just doesn't pick it up sometimes. So many ways to deal with a tall guy, Andre. You know, the conventional way, you can walk in, move your head, bring your feet, come behind your jab, and get close. Another way, the way that Crawford did early with that replay, you saw it, step back, set a trap, entice the taller guy to give up his height, to come to you, to become short, to become small.
He enticed him to reach. He made him pay. He disciplined him.
On paper, it's a 3-inch height advantage. There's a swinging, swiping left hand from Indongo. Crawford gets right back into the kitchen and the crowd reacts.
Faster hand from Crawford.
No doubt about it.
And more explosive. Power's there for Indongo, don't get me wrong. But it's wider power. It's blunt power. The sharper power. The more concise punches, Crawford.
And I think just overall, Crawford is just more settled. And when you're settled as a fighter, you can think better, you can implement your game plan better, and you'll see the shots that you need to land Good shot from Crawford right there, but Indongo still just a little tight for my taste.
And then on the back end, a right hand to the body, and that's going to be a knockdown score.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Are you okay? You want to continue? Give me your gloves.
A lot of time left.
I think he might have got up too fast. He's still hurt.
That's a great point. Let's see how he reacts.
Terence Crawford is a great finisher.
And perhaps a little too willing is Indongo here. Half minute left in the second round.
And a little too fat with his punches. Crawford went to a butcher. He got that fat chopped off his punches. See how straight they are? How concise they are? Crawford's get there faster.
Nearly clipped him again. Came hunting with a right hook as they tie up in the final seconds of round 2. Big round for Bud Crawford. His mother, Deborah, loving every moment of it.
Take a look at the knockdown right here. Right hand to the body. You're going to see the left hand coming up right there behind the ear. And Mama's happy.
Crawford is so accurate with those power punches. We told you, landing 48% of them, 5th highest in boxing according to CompuBox.
Andre, that left hand didn't land on the chin, but behind the ear. That can stay with you. That can discombobulate your equilibrium.
Yeah, to the people at home, it didn't look like much, but it was a lot. It threw off his equilibrium, and he was hurt for the remainder of that round. And he might still be a little hurt right now.
You see tonight, that power punch percentage is already at 57%.
I talked about it in the fight plan. How does Crawford deal with southpaws? Just becomes one. A pretty damn good one.
When we mentioned it earlier, Teddy, you know, whether it's orthodox or southpaw, he has the ability to put you on your seat. The skill, the power, the speed, total package is Crawford.
And even though Indongo is a 2-time world champion, this is the best opponent and the best fighter that he's faced in his career. Not the case for Crawford. Crawford has a long list of quality opposition that's prepared him for this moment right now. Indongo still looking a little unsure about what he wants to do offensively.
Left uppercut tried to split the guard. Indongo came forward that time. But you can see some doubt, to your point, Andre. He is fat with those left hands, Teddy. There is opportunity throughout the night.
Yeah, you can handle those fat punches if you Crawford 2 different ways. Punch in between them.
Another knockdown scored with a vicious body shot. Oh my, what a body shot.
7, 8, 9, 10.
Bud Crawford is the undefeated, undisputed champion of the world. Hasn't happened in 11 years of the sport. Boxing's first undisputed champion in any weight class in over a decade. Head up there, Mom. Hug your son. He's on top of the world, Deborah. We're going to give you every replay you could ever want because he finished it in sensational fashion. But for now, let us make it official. Fight fans, this Bud's for you. You got yourself an undisputed champion. Here's Lupe.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Jack Reach reaches the count of 10 with an official time of 1 minute 38 seconds of round number 3, declaring the winner by way of knockout, still undefeated. And now, the undisputed junior welterweight champion of the world, from Omaha, Nebraska, Terence Crawford.
In front of the fans in Lincoln, Nebraska. All right, Teddy, take us through it.
I was just talking about with fat punches, you can punch in between them. And that's exactly what Crawford did. Just watch. Wide punches create holes. There's a big hole underneath. Left hand to the body by the southpaw Crawford. Right hook misses. Left hand to the body. The follow-up doesn't. Young fighters out there, that's the benefit of combination punches. The first misses, the second lands.
And sitting next to the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world as our broadcast partner tonight, a man who just scored a vicious knockout victory to maintain that status. What do you make of it?
I love it. It's body punching. Body punching is a lost art in our sport. We got a lot of headhunters. Everybody wants to highlight real knockout, but the body doesn't move like the head does. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
And again, taking advantage of what was in front of him. The intellect, the technique. Being the smarter, more concise fighter, not just a stronger fighter, but that's what you saw right there from Crawford. Wide punch from Indongo, that creates a hole. And Crawford, with the shorter punches, quicker punches, he filled the hole.
An American boxing superstar takes a major step forward tonight. Draped in enough belts to share them with his family. A sellout of over 12,000. And not one Nebraska fan but Crawford fan has left. Because on the list now of notable undisputed, undefeated, untied champions in boxing history, well, you can throw the name Bud Crawford in there, folks. Bud Crawford, sensational knockout victory to put his stamp on history. Let's go to the ring and hear from the champ with Bernardo.
All right, we're here with Terence Bud Crawford. How does it sound to hear undisputed, unified 140-pound champion and to be able to drape all 4 belts around your body and share it with your family tonight and with your fans?
Well, first and foremost, I gotta thank God for blessing me with the victory. But it feels great. It feels, man, like a dream come true. I like to thank everybody that came out. I like to thank Nebraska, America. I did this for all of us.
You did it for boxing as well. Everybody says the belts don't matter. How much do they matter to you tonight?
Belts matter. You know, I'm the only one that could be labeled as champion at 140, and that's a big deal to me.
Last time there was a unified champion, the first time there was a 4-belt champion, it was Bernard Hopkins against Oscar De La Hoya. Bob was remembering exactly how that happened. Talk to me about that body shot that finished this fight tonight.
Oh man, we've been practicing on body shots all camp. It's been a rough, tough camp, and everything that we worked on in camp, it came out today in the fight.
Pound for pound, that's something that's very important to you. Do you think you made a statement tonight? We've got the #1 pound-for-pound fighter sitting ringside in Andre Ward. How close do you feel you are now to being #1 pound-for-pound?
Andre Ward, that's one of my favorite fighters, but I have to top him on this one.
All right, and now everybody wants to know what's next. Is there unfinished business at 140 now that you have all the belts, or is 147 in the future for you?
Well, I'm going fishing next, and then I'm gonna rest up with my family, and then my coaches and my managers, they're gonna see what's next for me.
How important is it to share this with your children, to be able to drape those belts around them and to share this moment?
What they told me before I fought, they said, "Daddy, you gonna bring his belts home?" I said, "You already know I'm gonna bring his belts home." And now they got belts around their necks, just like me.
Terence Crawford sitting on top of the world here in Lincoln, Nebraska, where the fans showed up and Terence Crawford showed out.
Did he ever? scored the knockdown in the second round, and then the body shot in the third to claim the status of undisputed.